Hi guys, welcome to another video. I've had the pleasure of talking to lots of women who are making a difference in our generation. Really hardworking women that I personally look up to. Most recently, I had the pleasure of meeting the first female surgeon in the UAE, Dr. Huria Kazim. She left me with a lot of insight into her career and how she became the woman she is today. So that meeting with Dr. Kazim, in addition to lots of inspiring and hardworking women around the world, has made me think about what it really means to be a confident, hardworking, inspiring woman. There are a few things these women have in common, and that's why I'm inspired to talk to you about the 5 things that I've noticed about confident women. Number 1, a confident woman is not afraid to take risks. When I hear about the journeys of all these inspiring, successful, young female entrepreneurs, you hear most of the time that they were scared, they were worried, but they tried anyway. There's so many women with brilliant ideas, but what is really holding you back is the fear of taking risks. And I've noticed that a confident woman will take risks no matter whether she fails. And the fact that these women take risks doesn't mean that they got it right the first time. A lot of us are very scared of failure. Failure is not the end of the world. There's so many successful people in the world who have failed. You hardly find anybody who gets it right the first time. The earlier you fail, the earlier you're able to learn and pick yourself back up. Second is rejection. Most of us know and understand that rejection is not the most pleasant thing to go through. Oftentimes when we're faced with situations where we're rejected, we somehow project that on ourselves. We blame ourselves. We think that the reason that we were rejected from this job opportunity is because we're not good enough, or that person is better, or the reason why your love life or relationship didn't work out, or the reason you were rejected was because you're not good enough for that guy. We somehow make rejection very negative, and then that impacts our confidence. But from chatting to all these inspiring women, what I've observed is that a confident woman will not perceive rejection as something entirely negative. A confident woman will perceive rejection as buying time, really. So the fact that she was rejected from this job opportunity gives her more time to work on her CV, to add more personal skills to be able to apply to the next job. So she turns around that negative situation into something positive, and in addition, she builds and develops herself. And that gives her more momentum and more power and more leverage to be able to get the other job opportunity. And also during my chat with Dr. Kazim and talking about the reality of being a female surgeon in a specialty that's very male dominated, and she talked a lot about her time as a trainee surgeon, all the times where she would interview for a job, and back then people would tell her outrightly, "What are you doing here as a woman? Don't you want to start your family? Don't you want to have kids?" And of course, she didn't get every job that she applied to. When I think about rejection personally, I remember when I was done with my first degree in England and I really wanted a change of environment. So I was contemplating where to go to medical school. So as much as I did apply to Ireland, I sent an application to the States. And I kid you not, I applied to 30 different medical schools, and all I was thinking was, what are the chances that I will not get into one of those schools? So I got one rejection letter after another, and I decided to use that situation to really think about what was wrong with these applications. So I decided to request the feedback, and most of the feedback that I got was that I really needed more extracurricular activities. I really needed something more to go on my CV to make me more competitive, and that's what I did. So I turned around that situation. Rather than staying on my bed crying about the fact that I've been rejected, I decided to use that opportunity to develop myself, to develop my CV, and finally I got into medical school. So the fact is, at some point in our life, we will experience rejection, and it's important for you to turn around that situation. Rather than making it negative, try to think about how you can build yourself and how you can make yourself better, because by so doing, you make yourself more confident. The third thing I've noticed is that a confident woman does not undersell herself. Now, I'm personally guilty about this, and I know this from David. Sometimes I do amazing stuff, like the interviews that I've had the pleasure of doing recently, getting invited to talk certain places, and every time when I'm done with something David considers so amazing and he pays me a compliment, I always think, oh, I was just lucky. I don't think it was that good. I mean, tell me if you're guilty about this, but I noticed that most women find it very difficult to accept compliments. We really undersell ourselves. We attribute our achievements to luck, or we always think, well, the person that I was standing up against wasn't that good, and that's the reason why I shone. It's very difficult to really accept that you really worked hard for this thing and you deserve it. But I've noticed that a confident woman attributes her success to her efforts. She sits down and she pats herself in the back, and that is not arrogant. This is you realizing that you put in work and you put in effort, and the fact that something has turned out this good is because of your hard work. Take the credit for that. I'm personally learning that there's nothing wrong with taking credit for your hard work. If you've put in the hours, if it's an exam that you had to write and you put in all the hours and the result comes out and you do well, take credit for that. Don't think that the examiners were just lenient or there was a curve in the class and that's why you passed. Think about your hard work. If it's your family, if it's your career, your business, whatever it is, think about all the hard work that you've put in and give yourself a pat in the back, because that is something that I've noticed about confident women. They take credit for their hard work. The fourth thing is, a confident woman does not care that she's being talked about. Listen, you cannot be everybody's cup of tea. This is something that I've realize, even by virtue of the fact that I'm a YouTuber, the fact that I put out content and I try my best to be as positive as I can. Even if I put out the most positive content on here, I would definitely find a few people who come across as very negative, who don't like what I've put out, who don't like how I look, who don't like the fact that I'm a black woman, who don't like the fact that I'm in an interracial relationship. People will talk about you no matter what. And this has nothing to do with whether you're famous or not. If you have more than one friend, if you have a family that consists of more than 2 members, wherever people are gathered and they know you, there's a possibility that you will be the topic of the conversation. The question isn't that are you being talked about? It's like, when you find out that people are talking about you, how do you react to that? And that's something that I was guilty of. When I was a teenager, I was very confrontational. Whenever I heard people talked about me, naturally I'd go up to them to say, why are you talking about me? Why are you spreading rumors? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? But getting older, I'm just realizing that it's a waste of time if people talk about you in a very negative way, when you understand everything about yourself and you love yourself no matter what. If you find out that you're the subject of people's conversation, make sure that it doesn't affect you. Make sure that you understand who you are and you love yourself for who you are no matter what. The last point, a confident woman does not shrink herself to fit in no matter what. You hear stories from inspiring feminists like Chimamanda or Beyonce talking about shrinking yourself and your success and your hard work just so that you can please a man or be a wife material. A confident woman does not care about shrinking herself to fit into a standard that people expect her to fit in. When it comes to the way you look as well, let's take black girls for example, who feel the need to put on a weave. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because I do put on extensions, but the fact is I'm not doing that because society expects me to look a certain way. Because whenever I want to wear my braids, I'm very confident that I look good in my braids, no matter what anyone else thinks. When it comes to marriage, are you expected that you must marry somebody from your race or ethnicity even when you're not in love with that person? I'm not talking about being rebellious for no reason. But the fact that you know who you are, you know your values, you understand your likes and your dislikes, you understand your strength and your weaknesses, and then society comes up with its rules to either box you or categorize you. You should be placed in this box because you're from this race. You should be placed in this box because you're this gender. A confident woman does not care about conforming. She loves herself for who she is, and that attitude actually takes me back to my previous point that she doesn't care that she's being talked about as well, because the fact that I don't conform to what society wants me to conform to means that I will be talked about. Do I care? The answer is no. So in summary, these are the 5 things that I've noticed about confident women. She's not afraid to take risks. She's not afraid to be rejected. She does not underestimate herself. She's not afraid to be talked about. She doesn't care. And lastly, she does not conform to fit into what society expects her to be. Personally, I haven't perfected these 5 points. These are things that I'm still learning, and I'm making mistakes along the way, but I'm making mistakes early enough and I'm learning from these mistakes. And something that I've learned from these women is that confidence is an evolution. It's something that happens over time. You don't just wake up and then boom, you're confident or you're born confident. Most people fortunately come from backgrounds where they're groomed to be confident as they grow older, but that's not the case for most women. It's important to understand that the fact that you're not confident today doesn't mean that you won't be confident tomorrow. If you try to apply these 5 tips to your life, as you go along, you'd notice that you get confident as you grow older. As I said, confidence is an evolution, not a revolution. This brings me to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear from you. Let me know the things that have made you more confident as a woman and the things that you find yourself struggling with. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Bye.
Girl, I need you. How many times do I wanna yell?